Copies of these documents can be found in my private group at Yahoo called Administrating Your Public Servants. For a complete set of YouTube videos with private information, shares a DVD with over 50 searchable law dictionaries and other books and forms, contact me privately at engineerwin@yahoo.com. Donations to support this work are appreciated. I prefer gold or silver coin, but as an extremely less desirable alternative, I can accept the military script, the IOUs, the Federal Reserve notes, the PayPal gifts, the checks, the money orders. Send me an email for particulars.
This is Tryal, and she is, we had a little taste of what she likes to do last night with...
Stay here till like 11.
Yeah. So,
yeah, last night was awesome.
So she's going to get into it a little more. She's got a presentation and everything, and she's got all day. So we're going to learn a different way of dealing with it than what I do. This is basically if they're dragging you in there, how to deal with it, which is good to know. I try and make it so they don't want to talk to you. If they're dragging you in there, then you got to deal with it somehow. And so she has some great ideas on that. I'll turn it over to Tryal.
Thank you. So this material is piggybacking on what he's teaching, so it's not necessarily different. It's just an additional piggybacking on what he's taught. He's teaching you what they're doing, what's going on, how they're doing it, so on and so forth. And I'm just coming in from another angle when we're talking about the names and how they're initiating this cause, okay? So this is essentially called the name game. It's a game of Rumpelstiltskin. A lot of the old fairy tales, like Snow White, when they gave her the poison apple, and she, the witch gave her the poison apple, and she fell deep asleep. And Rumpelstiltskin comes along, and she's in the dungeon, and he comes in and he says, "Oh, I don't know how to spin this straw into gold." And he shows up and he says, "You know what? I'll spin that into gold for you. Just give me a ring, and you're all set." So she gives him the ring. He spins it to gold. The king is happy. Next night, "Oh my God, I don't know how to spin this into gold. Hey, check this out. Give me your necklace. I'll spin this into gold. You're straight." Great. Give him the necklace. Gold in the morning. The third night, because 3 times is a charm. Third night, big massive pile of straw. "Oh my God, I don't know what to do. I can't possibly spin this into gold." "All right, so check this out. What do you have?" And I'll spin it to gold. She said, "I don't have anything." He says, "All right, give me your firstborn child. When you have your child, I'll spin this into gold." She says, "Fine, fine, fine, fine." Spins it into gold. King is happy. They get married. Baby pops up. There comes Rumpelstiltskin. "Remember you said you were going to give me your firstborn child?" She says, "Oh, wait, hold on a second now. There's got to be something that we can do." "All right, check this out. I'll give you 3 days. Again, there's that 3 times charm. "I'll give you 3 days. You figure out what my name is, you're good to go. You don't figure it out, I get the baby." First day, couldn't figure it out. She sent out all the king's horses, all the king's men, even though that's Humpty Dumpty's story. She sent everyone out to go figure out this guy's name. Couldn't figure it out. One day, he's dancing in the woods, singing a song. She's never going to guess my name is Rumpelstiltskin. He shows up for the 3rd day. "All right, hand over the baby." She goes, "Hang on a second. Your name is Rumpelstiltskin." Curse is broken. She keeps the baby. He disappears. It's the same thing. It's the name game, okay? So, first things first, what these people have done is they've given you this all capital letter name, okay? They put you on a gravestone, and they've essentially given you a civil death because no one has shown up within the 7 years to claim the baby, okay? And hospitals, especially when you have your baby at a hospital, they're public institutions. Same thing as a foundling institution, so they keep the record. When you give them the name, "You're going to name your baby, you're going to name your baby, you're going to name your baby." Yeah. They come in, they pressure you, "Come sign this," especially, God forbid, if the father goes to use the bathroom. These women are in there. "Here, sign this before the father comes back," because he's the one with the logic. She just had a baby. She's emotionally in that world, okay? And he's the protector. He's going to protect her. "Don't sign nothing. Don't do that. Let me see. What do you guys have? Let me see it. If he goes to the bathroom, or if he goes down the street to get a nice coffee, trust and believe that they are in there after they've medicated this lady, handing her paper, "Sign this. okay? So keep an eye out for that if you have children in the future, or if you've already had them, you know what I'm talking about.
Well, most of the states have actually passed statutes making it required, and it's these hospitals that do it. If you do it at home, what they'll do, and one of my, a couple of my son and my daughter were born at home. I don't want to say children. And there's a midwife, right?
Yeah.
And the midwife was required to fill out the paperwork for the birth certificate, but she gave it to us, and then we could do with it what we wished.
Nice.
See what I'm saying?
They won't certify her unless she's in that system too.
Right,
She won't
sure.
get the
Yeah.
education.
So she had to fill out the paperwork,
Okay.
but that was it. And this was actually in Canada, and in Canada, the midwives in Ontario, it's free health care, right? And so they want you to have a midwife because it saves them the expense of the hospital.
Right.
But they also have, you know, a doctor as a backup in case there's an emergency and those kinds of things. Everything's in place, which is probably not a bad idea.
Right. Right.
But so yeah, they gave us the paperwork, and then we could do with it what we wished, you know.
See, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Up here, they're far more aggressive.
Oh, they are, and
Way more
it's, one state is different from the next. But like in Arizona, one of my sons was born in Arizona, and it was the same thing. But now they've actually outlawed midwives in Arizona. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, and so you don't see midwives operating in Arizona anymore, or not near as many, because they don't make it so freely available. And so some states, you know, they have a problem with midwives,
Right.
and they try and compel you to, you know, do it in the hospital. See what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Anyways,
That's sad. That's
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah.
They take that. Well,
They
they.
still do it privately.
Yeah.
And
They-
don't
they-
call
they
a
take-
midwife.
Right.
Right.
My neighbor is helping me, my
Right.
whatever.
but then
Right,
there's
right,
always, like, some people have told me that they'll forcibly, you know, register the birth, steal your children, even if they don't have a birth certificate.
Yes.
And again, that comes down to you can deal with it, you know, the way Tryal deals with it, but you know, the way I do it is I put them in a position that they don't want to talk to me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Long in advance.
Right.
And so, but she's talking the same thing I'm talking about, is talking about the name.
Right.
This is just another way of dealing with
Just
it.
another angle.
That's right.
Yep. All right, so in the Secretary of State, also known as SOS, Save Our Ships or Save Our Souls, okay? They have their own pamphlet that goes into the name game. Okay, I didn't actually take pictures of the inside of this, but it's not necessarily in the corporations department, but it's advertised as a corporations department. So I have my name trademarked, my children's names trademarked. So if anyone attempts to use those trademarks under deceptive and unfair trade practices, I can grab them. Okay? I actually got this, and unfortunately the details are not in, but we can go in later on, and I'll show you where the trademarks are on the Secretary of State. I actually got it out of the Bible, again. So this one was under, I want to say 1045, Mark 1045.
I'm
And-
sorry,
yeah.
the pamphlet was with the Secretary of State,
Yes,
and you got the information out of the Bible?
yeah.
Not from the pamphlet, but you got information out of the Bible. Okay.
Yes.
And then the next question is, was that the state Secretary of State or the
Yes,
federal?
this is the
State?
state. Yep. So right here, it's got the Commonwealth of Massachusetts sigil on. Does anyone have a stick? Because I don't want to be on the screen.
No, that's fine, it's down at the bottom.
No,
Okay.
that's fine, sure.
So right here, but the interesting thing is, so every state has a seal, which is the same thing as a sigil, and a sigil is a magical emblem. Okay, because they use all magical energy, spiritual principles.
Right.
So a couple things about this sigil is that they have the original sigil for this was a brown woman with a long ponytail and hoop earrings, and I said, oh, damn if that don't look like me. And then the other thing is that you see that the native is inside, he's inside the shield. And outside the shield, just above his head, is a hand with a cutlass coming down on you. So if you're not inside the shield and the protections, as a native, you're going to get your head cut off.
Tell us about this, the State Street Station in Boston, what the banner says.
Oh, it's in there.
Okay.
Not that part, but the set of K is in there.
But the come over and help.
Yeah, I can dig that up online. Yeah, I thought about putting that in there, but I didn't have anywhere to kind of stick it. But so they have another seal, and it's got a little native inside, and it's got a banner kind of waving over, and it says, "Come over here and help us."
Backwards,
Backwards.
from right to left.
Right. That's also on the old National Archive land grants. So when I went to get the land grant for the town that did something that they shouldn't have done, I went and got the land grant, 18 square miles, and on the seal it said, "Come over and help us." They want you to get on this side, okay, on the protective side, so that you can help them take care of this mess. They actually had another pamphlet. Is that what you're talking about?
No, the brick, where
From
it
the
says the
building.
key is in the back.
Okay. They
Got a
had a
picture of it.
pamphlet that's gone now. They don't have the Secretary of State anymore. But they had a pamphlet that says, "Will you help us?" Okay? And then you open it up and it's telling you all the problems that are happening in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Identity theft, fraud, so on and so forth, so on and so forth. All the stuff that they're doing. All right? So in order to play this game and be effective and have power, you need to be able to play the name game.
What does the top of that say? I can't read.
No.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Let me find one.
The name game.
No, below that, on the
I was getting worried,
Thank
man.
God.
I was getting worried.
Well-
Down here?
Well, he decided to do
Trademark.
100
It's
to
a-
get put
um,
over.
The tops is the name game.
Was it private?
And that was from, what year?
Right
Did
here?
they still issue that? No.
Oh,
It
this?
was me driving. We
They
were
still have
Was it
this.
that
They have this
trooper
pamphlet
that was
sitting
on
in
the
their
left-hand
office.
side?
And it says the
In a
name game.
black car?
Trademark.
Trademarks the
Black
name
car.
game.
Trademark.
regular car.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the Secretary of State at all.
In the
at all
second-
times.
I'm
in
home till I got
Massachusetts
my
they have it.
mortgage shit.
Thank you.
So,
Yeah, you're welcome.
I passed it.
Okay, so that's actually, in other states, that's things for people to look for.
Yeah.
And if she's finding that in Massachusetts, then guaranteed it's probably in every other state.
There's something. If it's not exact, it's something along the lines
There's
of that.
Something similar, yeah?
There's always double speak or parallel systems.
Oh, there is.
Oh, yeah.
And they're
yeah, yeah.
speaking to both sides. You take it the way you recognize it.
Right, right.
Is the border red or orange?
It's kind of orange. Yeah, I should have brought some with me because they've got piles of them everywhere. Yeah, it's kind of orange. Okay, so like I said, the majority of this stuff I've been able to find in the Bible and then link it to what's happening in this world here. So this is Job, I say Job, 18:9. The trap shall take him by the heel and a snare shall lay hold of him. So at the hospital when the babies are born, they prick the heel, the Achilles heel. It's the same story because they use a lot of mythology. They prick the heel, they take the blood, and they take it. They prick the heel of the baby. They put the blood on this piece of paper here. They give it a bond number right here. And you never see it again.
They
Okay.
probably don't even see them doing that. They probably, in the mothers, you know, because a lot of times they'll have the baby maybe in a nursery,
Yeah.
and the mother's in her room.
Yeah.
And
Divide
there's,
conquer.
it's easily,
Yeah.
could be easily done when they're separated.
Even in
They're
the same
always-
room, they take the baby to clean it and wrap it and all
Yeah.
that, and that's when they do it.
Right.
They're always trying to get the baby away from the mother.
They're
Oh, we just gonna
extracting-
do. Baby's crying. Why don't you get some rest? Oh, we just want to go. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, we're just always trying to get that little bassinet and wheel it out.
They're
Right.
You gotta watch
extracting
that.
fluids during the mother's pregnancy.
When my son was born, they did all that stuff, the footprints, all that stuff. Did it when he was in the nursery,
Mm-hmm.
and then came and was like, oh yeah, this is what we did.
Right.
You know what I mean? And us at the time, this was going on 5 years. We didn't think nothing of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But now, now I know.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They-
I tried warning my sister about it. She just had a baby 3 months ago. She didn't want to hear it.
Right.
No. She didn't want to hear it.
Right.
You
Well,
know?
they contract with them once you
sure
get a
they can
pediatrician
You
or
give
an
the baby the
OB/GYN,
name.
you're
You give it to the.
contract.
Did you name the baby yet? Yeah, his name is Jim. Oh, now we have to go. God, see you later.
I've even seen them put on the paperwork, John Doe, baby name, or
Baby
or
boy, baby girl.
baby boy. That's right. Yeah. And so they give it a name of some sort.
And a social. in some
Well,
hospitals.
and that wouldn't surprise me. I know when my son was born, my wife, when my son was born, my wife was like in her 40s, and so she didn't want to have it at home because she was, older and concerned, and so it was in a hospital, and they just, they didn't. She told them what well, I think we'd already decided what his name was going to be, but anyways, they just arbitrarily registered it. And matter of fact, I went and did a notice and declaration of birth, and I recorded it in the county. And on it, I said criminals tried to arbitrarily register my son as collateral for the fictitious federal debt. I put it right on the notice. And then what I did is it was recorded in the county recorder. And then I was working at U.S. Airways at the time, right? So I wanted to put him on the healthcare benefits at U.S. Airways. And so I gave them that notice and declaration of birth that was recorded into the county. They wanted a birth certificate. And I said, well, I don't have one, but I can give you this.
Right.
And they took
Notice.
it. It was no problem.
Nice.
It was recorded. It's a government document. See what I'm saying?
Beautiful. Yeah. You don't have to use their system. You can use your own.
That's right.
All right.
Do you know who you are?
Right.
So there they're capturing the soul, actually.
Yes. They most certainly are.
Different spelling though, that.
Say, yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. I didn't put the caduceus symbol in here, but the caduceus symbol is usually on all the medical buildings, and that's another very important spiritual, magical sigil that they use. So we
Is
see
that
that.
snake and the
That's the snake with the
Yeah.
with the two. Yeah, that's the one we saw in the United States Postal Service mailbox.
The older mailbox in antiquity, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's also the staff of Hermes, which is again more mythology.
Right.
So this one is in Hebrews. This is why even the first covenant was not put into effect without blood. So this is a blood covenant, right when the baby gets here. Bing. As soon as the baby gets a name, they get the foot. And now they put the baby into a blood covenant unbeknownst to you. Take little Johnny home. Alright, so this is one of the many definitions of covenant. And a covenant may refer to law. Alright, covenant in law is a promise to engage in or refrain from a specified action. Okay? So again, in a matter of subrogation in court, if the judge asks you, do you make a promise? That's the same thing as giving over that payment bond, whatever you want to call it. We'll get into that a little bit later, but I'm just putting the seeds in so you understand that promise is the same thing. A restrictive covenant, a restriction on the use of property. Okay? So once they put their baby into a blood covenant, there's a restriction on the use of it. That's why they say you have parental rights. You can rent this name from their father, their parental rights. Okay? Dirty, dirty, dirty. Covenant, historical term for treaties or other agreements, or a contract. This is interesting. The federal, this is one of many definitions for federal. From the 1640s, as a theological term in reference to covenant between God and man. Okay? So, federal has a covenant between God and man. That proper name and the man who owns it. Alright? From French, fédéral, an adjective formed from Latin foedus, which is genitive foederis, covenant, league, treaty, alliance, from pi, behodes, suffix form of root, I don't know what that is. Behead, okay? Behead. Behead, to trust, confide, and persuade. Okay, so these people are always giving you advertisements, telling you what's going on, commercials, magazines. This crap is everywhere. One tiny drop changes everything. It most certainly does. Okay? Blood. One of the definitions from the Etymology Dictionary, which is the same place I just got the federal from. Inheritance and relationship senses emerged in English by the mid-13th century, meaning person of one's family, race, kindred, is late 14th century. As the seat of passions, it is recorded from 1300 Slaying, meaning hot spark, man of fire. You're talking about blood here. They're calling you man of fire. I'll give you the slides. Okay. Johnson is from the 1560s. Blood money from the 1530s. Originally money paid for causing the death of another. Okay. That's where the executor of the estate stuff comes in. All right. You start executing these contracts, these covenants, these treaties. You start chopping the heads off, quit claiming, whatever you want to call it. Same definition across the board. This is a little company here called Theranos, and they're going to do lab testing if you give them your blood. So when you go to the hospital, it's another thing. It's another donation-based charity. Give us your blood. Give us your urine. We need a tissue sample. Do you ever see those tissues, the blood, the urine again? You never see it again.
No.
Because they take it. We need to take your blood. Oh yeah, I'm going to get a blood test, so go ahead and take it. What are they doing with it? You never get it back.
2-3 vials.
Huh?
Right, not a
Sometimes
drop.
they do 2-3 vials.
They take plenty. Sometimes they do 8. They take it from the little ones. They take a blood prick from their finger, okay, and you never get it back. Thieves. Okay, so civiliter mortis is a status. Okay, this is the all capital letter name status. This is what they do to you on paper when you get a lease, when you get a license, when you get any kind of ID, your phone bill, your electricity bill, your gas bill, all civiliter mortis. You're completely dead. You're using their lease because you have no civil living status. Civiliter mortis, I want to say this is Black's Law, second edition online. You're civilly dead, dead in the view of the law. So they can't see you. That's why they have a hearing, because they can't see you. Children should be seen, not heard. Children of God should be seen, not heard. So if you're in a hearing, you know you have to get him to see your rights, not hear, okay? Because justice is blind until, of course, you enter into equity. The condition of one who has lost his civil rights and capacities and is accounted dead in law. In law, which is equity, okay? What is in full life? Continuing in both physical and civil existence, that is neither actually dead nor civiliter mortis. So that means you're walking around with your status. Both of you are completely connected, okay? A civil death in the law of persons is a change of the state. Okay, so you can be an all-cap state. So those of you who have a authenticated record from the federal, it will say Department of State in all cap. But above it, it will say United States of America in proper form. Okay, so you can...
.me shut down on 15 December and YouTube channel called Sovereignty International is deleted. I made the exclusive content available on my website. There are two subscription levels, and I accept cryptocurrencies. I've also raised the rates a little bit for my videos, but anybody who currently has videos at the previous rates they will stay at those rates as long as they maintain those subscriptions. So the new rates are $29.99 a year for the videos only, and $49.99 a year for the videos plus unlimited consultations. Now, there is some limitations on the kind of consultations that I can do because I'm not a liar. Well, I meant an attorney. No, actually, I meant a liar. Because, but I can tell you what I would do in a certain circumstance and where to find the forms. Now, the unlimited consultations does not include phone calls. It does not include babysitting. It does not include preparing documents or reviewing documents. When I say babysitting, that means, getting 5 emails a day, about how to do this and how to do that. If you have a situation and explain your situation to me, I can tell you what I would do under that circumstance. If you need somebody to hold your hand to fill out a form, then that's called preparing documents or reviewing documents. You see what I'm saying? And that's not included in that. But I'm available to help with that. But again, that requires a donation. the important thing to understand here is the only power that these New World Order Satanists have over us is through fraud and deception, and my agenda is to expose it for all our benefit, but I cannot fight the battles. I need other people that are bringing up the right issues that are on point and fighting the battles as well. If you want to get a subscription as a donation, it's a modest donation, there's no doubt about it, but a whole bunch of people chipping in a little bit and it can add up pretty fast, so everything's appreciated. I'm currently publishing one video a week, and also at the bottom I have links to the sovereigntyinternational.fyi. The top link is to a page that has all of my videos listed in an organized sort of way based on certain categories or types of videos, so it makes them easy to find, because they're not necessarily easy to find on YouTube. So the free videos are on the top link, the subscriber videos are on the bottom link, and now you can go to that link on the bottom link, and if you don't have a subscription it won't help you, because you'll still won't be able to see the videos, but the at any rate, there's where the videos are located. You can find there's links to all those videos on my website. It makes it a lot easier to find the videos when you're watching them, so you can look at them or watch the videos based on, you know, areas of study that you're working on, you know, and that kind of thing. Anyways, some of my exclusive content is Arlington Private Information Share, which is 9 videos alone. I also have a land deed training, a couple of land deed training videos. I've also got estoppel certificates training. I've got foreclosure estoppel certificates training. I've got corporate denial training. I've got toll roads notice and demand training. I've got invoice training. I've got notice of void judgment training. There's also revocation of signature training, third-party witness training, federal habeas corpus training, revocation of voter registration training, criminal complaint training, and I've actually got several videos for criminal complaint training, and there are probably more as I come up with issues that people need to be aware of. Lawsuit training is one that I don't have up yet. It's quite that's quite a complicated issue, because every jurisdiction is going to be a little bit different. But I'll probably so that when I do put them up there, there'll be probably several videos on that as well. And then there's other training depending on, you know, what people are looking for and need help with. All forms, files, and other instructions are available for free on my 2 private groups at Yahoo Groups and Google Groups in the files directory, and the Google Groups is under Google Docs. And the exclusive content is above and beyond the bare minimum that you need to understand what's going on, and free yourself. And so that's why it's exclusive, and it's training on how to do the stuff. If a lot of people, if you have some knowledge, you can figure the stuff out by yourself. But the training is available if you need some help in that respect.
Hey everybody, if you think what you've heard so far was good, wait till you hear the rest of it. It's available on my subscription channel that you can find at sovereigntyinternational.fyi. If you think what you've heard so far is good, wait till you hear the rest. She's brilliant. She's got some great ideas, and I don't know about you, but I am sure glad we invited her. She's brilliant. Hope to see you there. Thanks.